8:05, we're here to do it once again. We are Island T, and I'm talking about Kortensia Carty. Jamsta is in the building, and so is Jay Black.
I was just about to say, I was going to ask if you forget me. Like.
And also, you could listen to it. You can watch us live on Channel 40, TVC, TV Caribbean. Big up to Andre, who I had a nice conversation with last night. Yeah, so.
Good morning, Andre. Good morning for both regionally and internationally. Good morning to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Jamsta. All in these J names. Good morning, everybody that is listening. Yes, good morning. I hope we're all in great spirits today. The gentlemen, folks that are listening and watching, they did not wear red. They did not get the memo.
I certainly
This is the last week of the colors.
Oh, I didn't get the memo. I didn't realize that.
The red. And we know that the red in the flag signifies what?
The
Labor?
blood that was slain by the slaves.
The hard labor?
real?
The hard labor?
Yeah, the hard labor. Yeah, hard labor.
Okay, so I'll go through the entire thing. So the national flag of St. Kitts and Nevis features green for our fertile lands,
Yes.
yellow for our year-round sunshine,
Yes.
black for our African heritage, and red for our struggle from slavery through colonialism to independence.
Yes.
Yes, all of that. So
Yeah.
that's what the red signifies.
I was
And you
gonna
guys don't... Even that young lady over there did not wear her red.
Sharon.
Sharon did not
Morning,
wear her
Sharon.
red. Good morning. You forgot the color? So I'm the only red person. in the
Sharon has
house.
come over to the contrarian side. The dark side.
But you see me like when you wear green and black there, you know. I just like fly and I make
Hey,
sure you look
no.
on the media.
No, I wore green and black.
No.
So I had on two colors of the
All
flag.
black.
You have
All
nothing
black.
on me.
All black. All
They
black.
didn't say that.
All black.
They just said you had to wear
All
black.
black.
But I honestly
Look
didn't
today I'm
know.
wearing red and black.
I honestly didn't know today.
Well, I'm going
was,
to squeeze my finger and you're going to see it turn red. You understand?
We're not talking about the blood. We're not talking about the blood.
Well, Jay,
I have one red.
Let's cook her for a little bit.
Okay.
That's not even red.
This is red. What are you talking
That's-
about?
Sharon, is that red?
Is this crimson? You see, thank you, Sharon. Gentlemen do not know color. Men do not know
Okay,
color.
no, men and that's not just know what he said. Because he said to cook himself, yeah.
Try the bus, cool.
Boy, no, me go.
I'm on the bus.
Imagine me a photographer for what that day and say, hey, man, that's crazy to me. Yeah? That's crazy to
I'm
me.
under the bus.
We will have to rethink who we go to take our pictures.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
crazy.
So what's on the plate this morning?
What's on the plate?
Yeah.
Plate? Well,
What's happening?
what's happening?
Yeah.
Well, you know, as we've been saying all week, you know, if you haven't touched the orders yet for the week or you haven't touched the road for the morning, yes. Construction is still ongoing. Yes, please be mindful of the routine traffic stops there by Ross for the crossing guards for the students to get into the school. Let's see what else.
The road is still being fixed going to St. Peter's Way. as well,
on the
so
bypass, yes.
Yeah,
on the
be
roundabout,
mindful.
yes.
I can imagine the dust that the persons that live in that here.
Well, it's not so bad now because
Okay.
they fixed that little stretch between the roundabout and the little corner there to behind the runway.
Okay.
Yeah, so they fixed that. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Alrighty. So we said it's Friday, and we promised to bring you to have a light, fun Friday. So are you gentlemen ready for my quiz?
Come Jamsta, we got quiz. We got quiz Jamsta.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I will start with this one. I think I should start local, so I definitely will start local. So what is the common surname in St. Kitts and Nevis?
Nisbet.
In St. Kitts
Are
and
you kidding
Nevis?
me?
Yeah. Brown. Williams. Let's go. And if you're talking about Indian,
One
Prasad.
chance.
Oh, one chance, but that was one answer.
That's plenty answer.
Yeah, but all of them there's common names in St. Kitts and Nevis.
I said, what is the most common surname?
The most common surname?
Yes.
Williams.
Williams?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Wait. You sure about Williams?
I don't say Williams. I don't feel like I hear a lot of Williams. I don't tell you Nisbet, Brown, Williams, and if on the Indian side, Posad.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm gonna tackle everybody. And then if you go Nevis nah. Maybe
So
Rollins.
you are correct.
Maybe
Williams.
Rollins. Yeah.
After Williams comes what?
Nisbet.
Brown.
Brown. Yeah, well, I said Brown.
After Brown comes what?
Nisbet.
Liebert.
What Liebert? Liebert.
After Liebert comes what?
Woodley.
Francis.
No. But
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think you had started yet. But I did something a few months ago which said Williams was the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Williams.
So
Sean.
Sean was distracting.
Sean.
For sure.
Never come, Sean.
Okay, so after Francis is what?
You know,
Pemberton.
Pemberton.
And after Pemberton is what?
Gatti.
Jeffers. Synonymous with Anguilla. And after Jeffers, it's what? I'm surprised at this one.
Wilkin?
Henry.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised.
Henry?
Yeah, I
Henry.
don't know how much Henry
it's
is
French.
though.
It's actually French.
So after Williams
Yeah.
is Brown, you say?
Yep.
That's crazy.
So you're famous, but this Brown has an E.
Really?
It doesn't
Well,
matter.
yeah, that
It-
makes
it doesn't
sense.
matter.
There's a
It
fair,
doesn't matter.
there's a fair amount of brown.
No, for real, no. It doesn't matter. It was some Browns. It's a spelling issue. For example, my Brown is a spelling
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you were supposed to have a...
Yeah,
No,
but,
okay.
but my mother kept it anyways. So she's like, whatever it is, and she fought for it too. So
How many minutes are there in a full work week?
that's a good question. My Jamsta, quick maths.
40.
Minutes.
Oh, minutes.
40 times 60
And a full
Jamsta.
work week, we're going with 7 days.
7
No,
days.
7 days is not a full working week.
A full week has 7 days.
No, you said working week.
Okay, fine.
Don't change it up. I call labor department.
Yeah, you're right. You did say working week. That's
I
not a
changed it up.
working week. That's slave labor.
Anyhow, somebody gonna be working 7 days a week besides myself.
Exactly. That's slave
Problems.
labor. Yeah.
Okay, I'm waiting.
For what?
For the
Yeah.
40-hour work week then.
40-hour work week. 40
y'all don't wanna
times 60
give me-
Jamsta, 9 to
Can,
40.
can I pull out my calculator?
To 40 minutes, 240 minutes.
Oh, wow. Look at you. But no, you're missing
Oh.
a zero.
Oh, 2400. Oh, okay, my bad.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my
Okay.
bad. Yeah, I forget to add on the extra zero.
Listen, I like how he... Okay, which island is known as the Big Sister and which island is known as the Lush and Shy Island?
The big sister?
Yep, I'm keeping it local, my gosh, before I go international.
That's I live in this one for you. I don't answer most of the questions.
I'm gonna say Trinidad.
No.
Boy, you deaf local. But hey, I just want. But hey,
Oh,
hey.
oh, you said no.
Yourself for this
No,
girlfriend.
I didn't. I thought.
Okay, we're keeping it local
Because-
for now.
because-
So which
because-
island is known as the Big Sister and which island is known as the Shy and Lush Island?
Liamiga, but I've never heard
Liamiga is known as what?
St. Kitts.
Yeah, but which island is known as the Big Sister?
St. Kitts?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You got think?
No, I'm not thinking.
Oh, what the little island be? What the smaller island be?
Nevis, I never heard it called. What she said it. What she
Yeah,
said.
they
but-
said
What
the
is smaller?
Shy
It has to be
and Lush.
Nevis.
Nevis? You
Wally.
lie, is Booby Island.
Nobody lives on Booby Island. So.
Okay, I'm gonna do one more in
You can't
Nevis.
tell me that. That's constituency
Are
number
the
12.
are the boobies citizens?
Yes.
You're just sounding wrong this
Where you think the
morning.
extra 10,000 come from? Is boobies and monkeys? What are you saying?
Okay, for both of you, what is the difference between St. Kitts and Nevis?
One is a chicken, one is a rock, one is a dumpling.
The difference? Well,
Can we throw him out this morning?
well, I would say, no, that one's not gonna work because
Jonathan over here looking like, what's the answer, Kortensia?
what's the difference? Well, there are difference in
Okay, the
shape.
difference is that no, that minus that, they said St. Kitts has black sand beaches and Nevis is surrounded by coral reefs and has silver beaches.
Silver?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Silver.
and Nevis is also referred to as the most opulent of the two islands.
Opulent.
Yeah.
It's a powerful word there, but
Yeah, very great wealth, luxurious. Maybe
Nevis
because
is
of the
a-
Four Seasons.
I always see Nevis as like the bougie girl for real.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
when I look at Nevis, I realize that most persons on Nevis own their land, own their house, etc. etc. Conditions don't come for me, but I'm just saying,
No, but it's true. It's
they
true.
just seem to own more than what we own over here.
But here's a backhanded reason why that is.
Mhm.
Careful.
because this is
The man said no.
because Nevis is not as fertile as St. Kitts.
Yeah, that's true.
The planters over there abandoned Nevis a lot earlier, and they just left the land to the slaves, the enslaved. Let me say.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of Nevisians end up having land. So it's a backhanded way.
Yeah.
Whereas it's the opposite down here. I mean, you see people living down in guts.
Barren
and so because
is a very strong word, though. Barren is a very strong
but
word.
he said leave barren. No, he left. Because it wasn't as fertile as St. Kitts.
Okay, it wasn't as fertile.
Yes.
No problem. Got you.
The planters decided, let's choke on off.
Same thing with Antigua, actually.
Yeah.
Antigua?
Similar situation.
Okay, no problem.
It's not as fertile as St. Kitts, so the people, and also you can see it in the attitude of Antiguans. Antiguans are very, very Nigerian in there. Very self-assured, confident, and I like that.
We fertile till we got it in a song.
Yeah. And I have one more though, but we're going to include Anguilla on this one. I know Anguilla is no longer part of us, but just to top it off, when were the islands of St. Kitts, Nevis, and Anguilla united by the Federal Act?
No, I can't remember that.
Well, I can't remember that. All I know is Anguilla the boss off at some point.
It's a good thing we don't do a St. Kitts Nevis citizenship exam. I would lose.
So, Jay, you Googling it? Jay's Googling. I'm going to give him a chance to Google.
Speaking of which.
1882.
Yeah, you're correct.
1882? Really?
Correct.
I had
The
no idea.
islands of St. Kitts, Nevis, and Anguilla were united by the Federal Act in 1882 and became an independent state in association with the United Kingdom on February 27, 1967. Yes.
And then we became independent 101 years later.
Oh boy, yes, 1983.
1882, 1983.
And did you guys? Which Caribbean settlement? Which island was the site of Great Britain's first Caribbean settlement?
That's a regional
Then I'll
question.
say no.
I
said it was St. Kitts.
St. Kitts.
I said I was keeping it all local today.
I'm just making sure.
You want me to try an extra one? Which two countries in the world starts with the letter Z? And that's the extra
Zimbabwe and Zambia? No. Zambia?
Zambia.
Yeah.
You're pretty good.
Folks, I hope you had as much fun as us. But you can participate as well. So next time you can call in and try to beat Jay and Jamsta. But you know what? I think we should take turns so we can all learn something new. So I will throw it to Jay next week and Jamsta the other.
What's supposed to do?
Just get some nice quiz questions. See,
anything.
I kept it mostly local today.
It could be anything.
It could be anything, yeah. And then I threw in that extra one. Okay, which country has the best chocolate in the world? And it
Cuba?
does not grow cocoa.
But isn't that
Cuba?
subjective in a way?
Okay, let me hear your answer.
Well, most people would probably say Switzerland or Belgium, but
He's got the two.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
regional. Okay, sorry.
No, that's why I said one more international question. He's good. He knows his chocolate. Yeah. And they say Belgian chocolate uses whole milk, and Switzerland chocolate uses condensed milk. And the cocoa that they actually get comes from West Africa and Ghana and Ecuador. Yeah.
Ecuador too.
Yeah. Well, imagine they don't grow their own cocoa and has the best chocolate. So what are the persons with the cocoa doing, man?
You're just opening a can of worms here. You realize that the whole of Europe is rich because of
the things that they
get from Africa and
the other
global
countries.
salts, so to speak. Yeah.
Because they say they can't grow cocoa because cocoa is only grown on equatorial
nice warm
countries, But St. Lucia has nice chocolate though, and they grow cocoa. I've experienced that. I've been to the factory. I've seen them in the barefoot mashing up the cocoa seeds and all of that. Oh, you do? I have a piece of chocolate that I saved from since Christmas. Do you think I so want to boil it, but I need to get some Baileys first because I want the whole effect.
Oh, the Baileys. It's like a Saturday morning
I have my arrowroot and everything,
with the grater and
you know,
star anise and
nutmeg,
cinnamon, nutmeg.
Oh boy, Jesus, now you're making me want some. And don't forget to turn your arrow to thicken it. So it's
My mother
nice
used to have. My mother used to have a Rasta boyfriend. Actually, my sister's dad. And he used to do it with coconut milk. Oh my God!
Sheesh.
Chocolate, like.
Oh my God, that sounds
grate the
nice.
chocolate and all that stuff with coconut milk. Oh my God! I'm telling you.
Look at this young one over here. Like, what are y'all talking about? I've never experienced that.
No, it ain't that. I just like, I hear thinking to myself, I say, everybody might have had a Rasta wife at some point.
Not mine.
Oh, that's what that look was about.
The mind of Jay. The mind of Jay.
I feel like it's always like some Rasta in the story somewhere where there's a boyfriend, uncle.
I have so many stories where like I like the girl and like it's like, boy, bye. I like the Rasta. You know?
We got a call.
You know?
We got a call, Johnson.
Huh?
We got a call.
Yeah. Go ahead, call.
Life on Island Tea. Oh boy, Jams, you needed to put on some folklocks.
Good morning, Jamsta.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Black man.
Jay Black.
Good
Good morning.
people love you, ask you.
Oh.
Yes,
Speak for yourself.
Jamsta, a young man was telling you about the cemetery yesterday. The people is cleaning the cemetery. You understand? But what really want to happen in the cemetery? You need workers to move the grass them when they clean it. Not leave them there. And then
Fair enough.
rainfall, it bodies you're dealing with, fertilizer, So in no time,
True.
that thing will grass back up. So Carl gotta know these things. And we are appealing to the management of the port to clean up the port. You got a new season coming. All the eastern side and the port, Jamsta, is out of light. Molly was the original electrician for that purpose when Matalan give us the port. When construction finished, when these people take over the country, the Joe administration, whoever he send down there, telling Molly that Timothy Pedam, this is we country now, we gonna decide down here now, and I and the ground gonna decide the piece of land down there. You are never come and do a guy like with our politics. That percent to bring almost 80% of the income in this country. And not just come and do as they like. A warning, my good friend, from your tongue, the chairman, if any one of them Indians gets caught while they're going over to the garbage in the night to throw in the garbage, I'm going to blame it on you, I'm going to blame it on you. I don't know what's going on. People are running away. All the Indians are coming to me, not them. Because they know me a man around and just make sure that down there keep clean. That's the only thing we got. And I'm very disappointed in the management. Leave our pocket politics up in Mexico House. Have a good day, Jamsta.
Okay, and you made a good point about I guess cleaning the cut grass and so on. Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
was
guess
some nice hot water for the morning.
y'all because you weren't here.
We need some flavor for the tea now.
Yesterday after 9.
Oh, when I left? Okay.
Yeah, the cemetery came up about. He brought it up actually. I think, talking about how back in the day, and it's really true. Back in the day, it used to be well kept and so on. I was even telling them yesterday how I remember as a kid when my great grandmother died, and up there by the chapel. We talked about the chapel. There's a chapel.
Yeah, they need to refurbish that. I'm for refurbishing.
I was told that Jamdown said that. I remember I remember a few years ago the Ross University students had got together to fix it, and apparently they fixed it. And I thought it was a hurricane that happened, but I heard that they stole the building materials twice, so they just gave up basically. Yep.
Jumbies need to be real, Jumbies need to be real.
But
the spirits need to be real. So when they had gone in there to take up the materials, they should have just run them out to the cemetery.
Well, I said yesterday they clearly don't believe in Jumbi because
I know your point is from the
yeah, I know.
I always wonder about persons who steal from the church. Ain't you afraid of God? And I'm not gonna say are you. Ain't you? I'm gonna go local. Ain't you afraid of God? Like who steals from a church?
You know how the
Like
Bible
he
and do it
watch.
first.
Hello. The mere fact that the man watching every single thing you do
No,
should
they don't.
convict you to not go and steal from a church or any institution.
the Bible before
Imagine
they do it.
somebody's going to help you restore something that will benefit your country and you're going to steal and put your country last. So you're really not adhering to the motto that says country above self. Come on.
We have a call.
Hi,
Caller, good morning.
Good morning, caller.
Hi, caller. Go ahead.
Jamsta,
Oh boy.
Hey.
Hot tea again.
Hey, what's up?
Jamsta.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're
Remember
listening.
the young man was also telling you about the prison, And he's right. In the
Oh,
past,
yeah.
The prisoners them should go up there and help the man them from Park and Beach.
Yeah, they used to do it though, jam down initially.
We talked about that too.
Yeah.
Park and Beach. Keep the cemetery clean.
Yeah, that was part of the
You
work.
understand?
I remember as a
Because
school
we kind
child.
of man in there just sitting down, sir, and they ain't doing nothing. And they used to do it.
Yeah.
Imagine Jamsta. The square meals now is plenty better than what you used to get. You understand? So the young man got to understand this. They have to do it because the country is calling for it.
Yeah.
Certain places in town need to clean. Bring out the prisoners them. Bring them out to the army. Bring them out to the army, man. I mean, what's going on in the country? It's so terrible. Workers is not cleaning the drain them in bath here. The women never solid waste. They're limited. They need more workers to get things done around. You watch the drain them. When I got by the park, Jamsta, I don't be I don't feel so bad and shame. You see around the park, and you got a sports department. These things never used to happen. Especially when Mr. Austin Eddie was alive. It's so terrible. I'm on here, I'm going to talk here, Have a good day. Tell the man black or black.
Yeah, yeah, that came up too. But there was a caller who didn't agree with the prisoners, keeping the, which I'm like, I didn't understand
You
his
mean
reason.
going to the
to keep the
But
prisoners.
they used to do it as a young
which is what I said.
lady going to school when I lived up at Fort Lands, and I would walk by, the prisoners would be there with the army men cleaning up, and the cemetery was kept clean. What is the big deal now?
I know.
And then I think don't the prisoners get some money for doing that as part of their little purse for when they return to society?
They're buying into all of this new age liberal correctional.
But how
nonsense.
far is it getting us though?
I like cleaning a cemetery.
You remember when the prisoners even used to
of
paint the road? You remember
Huh?
those times when they used to
Yeah.
paint the pedestrian crossing,
Yeah.
the yellow lines, etc., etc.?
now they hire people to do it. It seems.
Yep.
We have a call.
Caller,
go
good
right ahead.
morning. You're live on
828.
Island T.
Yes, good morning.
Hey.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm sure that double entendre that you brought up yesterday, that the cemetery is so nice that people are dying to get in there. That was a classic.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. But really and truly, the cemetery used to be almost like a monument, right? Everybody would comment on it as being one of the most beautiful in the area, in the region, right? And well, I guess it's hard to think of a cemetery
No,
as
but
a national treasure.
But you know what's funny? Yesterday I even felt weird giving that anecdote because I remember thinking, boy, this is gonna sound weird to people. But I remember after my great grandma's funeral, we went down there to the south to the chapel, down by between that area between the steps and the chapel, facing the road, to take pictures, and they're like flowers and really nice.
Of course, of course.
It's really,
It reminds me, for instance, if you go on a tour in Havana, one of the Cuba, they're going to take you past the cemetery, and it's almost like they regard it as a national treasure that it's a must see, and I guess it's because of all the important people were being buried there and so on. But apart from that, it is well kept. And that used to be one of the hallmarks of our cemetery. That wrought iron grill around there. Over the years, I think it used to pretty much, except for in front of the college, adjacent to the college, it pretty much, the wrought iron stuff went pretty much around the cemetery.
No,
And
it used to be by the college too. I remember that.
It used to be there by the college?
Yeah. It was completely fenced.
But what?
Sure about that?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the
Where the
wall
Christina,
by the-
where the Christina thing is.
Yeah.
No,
That
they
used to
had
be-
fence there. Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. All right.
The monument that's facing the college?
Yeah, that's for the Christina disaster. The,
Okay.
the
Okay.
obelisk. That's
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Okay.
The obelisk isn't for the Christian.
Oh, it isn't?
That one
Oh,
is
for the
for
flood.
Something else.
For the
It's about
flood. The flood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. The flood.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's where a lot of the Christina disaster victims were buried, I think, around that area. But the point is, it used to be regarded as a place where it was almost revered. Okay, and I think what has happened over the years, one is that there was no upkeep of that wrought iron fence. Okay, and what they should do, I think, is at least, rather than have gaps, put a whole section in the fence. Repair the parts where it has gaps with parts from another not so obvious area. Okay? To at least make it look like it's not unkempt or abandoned, you know. Ideally, of course, it would be nice to put wrought iron back around it, but again, there's no impetus to do that. It's almost like let the dead take care of the dead kind of thing, which is unfortunate
right.
because, I mean, that's where a lot of our ancestors were.
So
I think too, over the years, people have been using the cemetery as shortcuts from one area to the next.
at night. At night.
Not at
People
night.
not afraid of that. I still see people walking through there at night.
At night, yeah.
Nobody
I mean,
runs from there anymore.
Really and truly,
it
that
actually
should not
illegal to
happen.
be in the cemetery after
There
6
should be a
o'clock.
caretaker, a permanent caretaker of the cemetery, but I mean, again, it can't really do much if it's not properly fenced. If the entrances are not essentially looked at in terms of making sure that people just use the entrances rather than climb over the wrought iron thing and so on, right? So it really needs to be more to be better managed to bring it back to the beauty that it once was. You know, I don't know what it would take to do that.
I don't know. I don't know if you recall. I remembered something when you talked about the obelisk for the. You realized there was a picket fence, a white picket fence around the Christina
like a tree.
area, and I guess it rotted and it was never replaced.
Yeah, that's the thing with picket fences. If you don't maintain them, they go. Yeah, actually.
It's also the thing about not having a culture of maintenance.
College Defense Force project. Because I think I was down at the college when that was erected. Yeah, but like anything else, if it's not maintained,
It's gonna go to the dogs.
Yeah, exactly. There's one issue that I thought. I don't know if you all listened to the Brantley's press conference.
Yep.
Yeah, I had to work for that. He was here. I was listening to him actually.
Oh, right.
Actually, when he was talking yesterday, there were a lot of things. I think me and Kay were talking. We talked about that, right? Was it you? Yeah, we were saying a lot of. You said that.
I
there was
think I
something-
messaged you and tell you there's certain things that he's talking
and then
about.
then I was saying that there were a lot of things I thought, they should probably pull out those clips because I thought he made a lot of interesting points yesterday.
He made some disappointing points for me too.
Okay, let's hear those.
Basically, one of them was that he's put in the constitutional review on the back burner because he claims, there is no excitement, doesn't generate any excitement among the populace for it. But I thought that was what leadership was about. You were visionary enough to see into the future and realize that what we have now needs some kind of changing, right? He seems to be basically saying that the leadership should come from the people. And I'm not so sure I agree with that, okay? Politicians, the leaders should be visionary. They should basically look at things in the future that the ordinary person would not look at and decide that, well, it's best for our future if we make these changes or do these reviews, right? And another thing he seemed to be content with is the horse trading between the parties, okay? That is fraught with a lot of problems. For a small developing country like ours, I don't think that's the best way to run our system. It's good if you're an Israel or Italy or one of those large, well-developed places that the government doesn't play too much of a part in. If the government falls, the economy continues and so on. That's not the situation here, okay? And so we need more predictability. When we have an election, we're pretty sure who the winner is, and that's it. Forget about the horse trading and so on. And he seems to like that. Well, not surprising because, last election, or was it the one before, he fancied himself a kingmaker, I think he called himself. Okay? But I was kind of disappointed at those two positions that he took. And interestingly, with what you started this morning with those questions, we think it's a Nevis. It seems to be perpetuating the same things. He said that he's not in favor of a clause 113. He's not in favor of secession anymore, right? He admitted that he was an avowed secessionist, but not anymore. He's figuring that he should give St. Kitts and Nevis a chance to be the best state in the world. Okay, that's his spin on it now. And if it doesn't work, then you fall back to secession. Mm-hmm. Well, that seems kind of unfair to St. Kitts. If you're not going to remove clause 113, then insert a clause something 11 whatever it is that says St. Kitts can also leave the federation. Okay? In other words, get some kind of parity going. I personally feel that the two islands should stay together, but not in the kind of, but as equals, put it that way. All right? As equals, not with one segment of the country holding a sword over the other head. I don't think that makes for stability in the future.
He did allude to something yesterday that I always talk about. He I think he bemoaned the fact that the parties are not national parties, which is something I keep saying we should at least take a stab at, because I feel like all the parties should be national parties.
But he says that in one breath, and then interestingly, he gave the NRP credit. He said at least the NRP said they're the Nevis Reformation Party. Okay, he's saying that CCM should be the Nevis CCM. Labour Party should take out Nevis out of their name.
Yeah, it should be National Reformation Party, right?
Huh? No, Nevis.
No, but I mean, Labour Party. I'm
NRP
confused.
Is
Nevis Reformation Party. Or you're saying it should be, I see what you're saying. You're saying NRP is Nevis Labour.
Honest, what Lee's saying, including Nevis in their name.
But that's a little unfair, because remember, the NRP had a coalition for... They had a coalition for, 15 years with 13 of those 15 maybe.
They had with PAM, as well as they've had a coalition with PAM. Called a coalition, but some kind of working relationship with the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party.
Yes, but it was mostly. I mean, for most of that period, it was Pam.
Yeah. For most of the years, I think it was Pam. But again, those were out of convenience. Okay, remember once Pam, because they needed NRP to get into power. In I think it was in 1980, was it? But subsequently, in subsequent elections, when Pam got enough seats to be in power, they essentially gave Nevis portfolios that were, shall we say, minuscule. Like, I think, as a matter of fact, the Labour Party used to joke and say, the minister went from Minister of Finance to Minister of Sand or something like that. But the point is, right, I too feel that the two islands should stick together, but the best way to do it is to do it as equals. Find some way to do it as equals, not some one of the islands or both of the islands having something over the other. Mm-hmm. Like, for instance, right now, I guess the federal government, which essentially is a St. Kitts government, is supplementing Nevis's income.
But you see, but isn't
some 5 million a month or something like that?
Yeah, but caller, isn't having all the parties being truly national parties maybe the first step, so that NRP would run candidates down here, CCM would run candidates here, and vice versa. I mean, but
it doesn't take into account the historical. I don't want to say animosity, but the historical.
So you're telling me right? No party can find Kittitians who would want to run on the other island, respectively. For them,
in our lifetimes, for sure. Not in our
so
lifetimes.
We're not really serious. We're not really serious then about nation building. I think if that's the case.
Well, you can say that, but like I said, you have to look at the historical perspective. There are a lot of emotion in our politics. Okay, in politics everywhere, and you just can't ignore it. It's all well and good to say that's the ideal and you should aim for it, but you got to be practical as well. Okay, and I'm saying, as it is now, the constitutional arrangements need some attention. It's not being given the attention that it deserves, and so we're going to wait until sometime in the future when we have problems again, and we have confusion to talk about this instead of doing things right now to make sure that the future is at least.
Okay, caller, we have a segment. We have to link up with Jermaine up in DC, New York, and then we have John. Don't forget, we have John Francis coming up at 9 o'clock.
There were some questions about our delegation.
yeah. Right. I did ask him some questions.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll take a quick break, and then we're gonna come back with Jermaine.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Buying your medication is easy with City Drug Store's curbside pickup. WhatsApp our certified pharmacist at 662-8769 with your requests. For prescriptions, take a clear photograph and send for review. We will engage you in dialogue and then provide a quotation and link for payment. You can then pay via TDC's online payment portal. And once the transaction is complete, you'll be notified that your pickup is ready. Yes, it's that easy. Send your WhatsApp message to 662-8769 to order your medications today with City Drugstore's curbside pickup service.
And we are back on Island T, and we have a few comments that we can read right here. Jay, are you ready to touch one of them? Shake up, wake up. So I'm going to start with, there's a comment that says, Switzerland gets their cocoa from Ghana to make the chocolate. And then it went on to say, so amazing that they are so rich from the cocoa from Ghana, yet Ghana gets trinkets in return. So I guess they buy the cocoa, they process the cocoa. Ghana doesn't really get much for the cocoa. And someone else said at the previous comment, true, Europe was starving without Africa. And the next comment went on to say, as a matter of fact, Ghana makes their own chocolate as well. Very rich, very different to the chocolate here. I never heard of that one. I have to research that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so as I said before, let me pull up the facts on the chocolate, Let me pull up on the chocolate. All right, here we go. Right.
Okay. So
it says Belgian chocolate has a higher proportion of cocoa liquor to cocoa butter than Swiss chocolate, giving it a richer, more intense chocolate flavor. The Swiss also tend to use condensed milk in their chocolate, whereas Belgians use whole milk in theirs. And I'm looking for the one that says, okay, not that one. You know, every time you're trying to look for something, you can't find it when you need to find it. I didn't even know the did y'all know? Did you gentlemen know that there is a Academy of Chocolate Awards?
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I hope I'm saying it correctly. The Amedai Porcelana is often called the world's most expensive chocolate. It has won various awards, including Best Bean to Bar, Best Dark Chocolate Bar, and the Golden Bean Award from the Academy of Chocolate Awards.
Okay, so I have Germain. We could continue the chocolate. Trust me, you could talk about chocolate all day. Oh, I should say, though, that, I don't know if you know, last year, Ghana, the badass president actually went over to Switzerland. And actually, I just said it. But anyway, he went over to Switzerland and told them, well, we're not selling you the chocolate anymore.
The one for Ghana?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was forget his name. Germain, what's up?
Good morning.
Good morning, Sim Kids. Good morning, Jamsta, Kortensia, and Jay.
Thank you.
I think you guys owe me some chocolate.
No, we do.
After all this chocolate discussion.
Okay, we'll make it up.
That's crazy, but okay.
Imagine a guy calling from New York.
Where all the chocolate is.
We own chocolate.
We own chocolate. Can a third world country and say, we chocolate. You can't say that.
Yeah.
Jermaine, you can say whatever you
You guys
want.
owe me chocolate. all this chocolate discussion.
My God, I'm wait. You store and just buy some chocolate.
I know.
You
You got Laura Secord stores and all kind of thing up there.
Oh, Lord.
Big Apple talking to Lil Dumpling. I
want the ones from Switzerland and Belgium.
Yeah.
That's the topic here.
Now, you got some reporting for us. So, just some light reporting about going on at the United Nations General Assembly. What happened after we spoke?
Today is, as we were talking about yesterday, Jamsta, today is the day where Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew and major players within the CARICOM region will be presenting. Actually, Prime Minister Motley will be speaking shortly. She's a fourth speaker up for today. The Prime Minister will be speaking late this afternoon. We also have St. Vincent's Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, presenting today, the Bahamas Prime Minister, Antigua and Barbuda's prime ministers. So those are just a few of the key speakers that will be presenting today. And likely, topics that will be touched will be the Haiti situation, the ongoing crisis in Haiti, climate change, which is the big issue right now, food insecurity, and likely the inflationary issues that have been imported.
Okay, sounds good. And anything else you want to touch on?
Well, not at the moment per se, but I know you had some unanswered questions from yesterday that you wanted addressed.
So, yeah, I wanted to... Remember I asked you yesterday about what the true size of the St. Kitts Nevis delegation and maybe some comparative reporting on the other Caribbean countries.
Well, I did not necessarily get the comparative figures for the other territories, but based on the information that was sent over to us by the St. Kitts Nevis Information Service, the delegation number is about 10 people. That's the information that was sent out by Information Service.
Okay. I saw something else where it said 12, but maybe, numerically, but you could still make the point. That we really should need to know why delegations are the size they are.
But when we look at
well, I've heard these debates and so forth. Generally speaking, though, it's the technocrats that need to travel to these meetings, and they're the ones who have the hands-on discussions with the other parties per se to come to some level of agreement with the countries and these bilateral discussions. They're the ones who are needed there. So, because the ministers, yes, they agree on the policies and so forth, but it's the technocrats who lay the groundwork for much of what is agreed upon at the international level. So those are the reasons behind why technocrats travel.
Actually, that kind of mirrors something I was told yesterday by a listener, that they think one of the reasons why our delegations tend to be bigger is because the Prime Minister tends to take the, like you said, the technocrats that are versed in all the different matters that are going to be discussed, so that they can advise them, and also, which makes sense. So what does that say about the other countries? Is it a matter of ministerial experience versus...
I see where you're going, right, Jamsta. Yeah. It's a different approach taken by each country. So, for example, let's say we have this whole discussion surrounding visa waiver, and we decide, listen, we going, as part of our delegation, we want to tackle visa issues. So what we will do is we're going to engage with just randomly call, let's say, Australia. So we're going to take the foreign affairs officer who is responsible for the Asia Pacific region to engage bilaterally with our Australian counterparts or those within the Asia Pacific region. If we're talking about climate change issues, we're going to take the officers from the Ministry of Environment or the Climate Change Department to hold discussions with these people. We've been seeing the Prime Minister, and I don't want to sound like if I'm defending anyone or I'm politically aligned or anything, right? No. But it's just that a lot of people, and I would blame the government for this, their communications arm itself is not necessarily doing a good job in terms of educating the public as to why so many people went or what's the true purpose of what they're doing. We're seeing statements, we're seeing reports in the media that they're engaging with these people, these parties, these bilateral discussions, but they're not necessarily putting the information out there in such a manner that the public could truly understand what the engagements that they're about to do when they leave. Because before they leave, they say, okay, we'll be engaging with ex-party, we'll be having discussions on HIV in the region, we'll be talking climate change, we'll be negotiating loss and damage fund, visa waiver, and so forth, so the public can get a better understanding to minimize all of what the reports that we publish across the region.
The point I didn't get to finish was about experience. Was, you remember I kind of read off some of the numbers we had. I think Dominica was 4. So I was saying, well, based on that information that I had from that listener, which it sounds plausible, but then does that mean, okay, Roosevelt Skerritt, for example, has been prime minister for a much longer time than Drew, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and
By far.
Gonzalez and the Gaston Brothers, what, 10 years? 15 years? Something like that? 10 years. Yeah.
I would give Gaston 10.
I think he has
coming
6
up on
people.
15.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of it, but on the surface, I could say, well, okay, Mr. Drew is aware of the things he's not as versed in. He's the prime minister, of course. He has people. He has dedicated people to take care of particular departments, agencies, and remits and that kind of thing. So I guess you could argue that maybe he's doing. You could argue that he's doing it. He's approaching it better than the others. I mean,
Well,
I don't know. Someone could make the argument, right?
yeah, but see, the thing is, because like I said yesterday, he and his delegation left last week Friday, I believe it was. So they left, and based on the releases that we've been seeing, they've been holding a number of engagements, and they've been making a number of presentations to, and it was in the news last night, a number of presentations to various forums. So based on that, one could assume or suggest that the delegation has been engaging in bilateral discussions and making the case for St. Kitts and Nevis and other small island states. I know, for example, in the news last evening, but Kevin did the report on Minister Clark made her presentation at the Climate Change Forum. The Prime Minister has been engaging with several other bilateral parties there. So it's safe to say, and again, I don't want to put my head on a block, safe to say then that the delegation has been doing its work. The number, that's another discussion in terms of was all of them needed. I really don't want to engage in that, but based on the research and the work that has been put out, you can assume that that's what the reason why the delegation was that number.
I have a call for you. Let's take a call. Caller, go right ahead.
Yes. It's about that very issue. I would imagine, at least I know how it used to be done in the past, is that if you have a high-level meeting, the relevant minister, is briefed by the technocrats on this. It's not necessary to be accompanied by a train of technocrats, and I would have thought that it would be the same here. I think it would be good if the comparison you asked for, Jamsta, is made, because really and truly a lot of the issues and so on are indeed regional or sub-regional, and bearing in mind the cooperation at that level, I don't think it's necessary for all the countries to send 10-man delegations, right? They can delegate particular issues to particular states, right? And so I think it's a question. I would hate to think that it's a case where the Prime Minister, for instance, is not au fait with the issues and was not properly briefed, and so he has to work with a string of technocrats. Now, if there's a particular meeting that demands technocrat intervention and it's asked for, of course, let the technocrats go. But when you see, for instance, I don't know how the UN organizes it, because that could be part of it. Maybe they assign particular number of seats to particular delegations, right? And in which case, I suppose we use our maximum. I don't know what the maximum is, right? But
who's the CARICOM chairman at the moment? Or OECS?
Dominica.
And who's OECS? Oh, so who's CARICOM then?
CARICOM is
Grenada's
Dominica?
prime minister.
Grenada is
Grenada.
CARICOM?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No. The leaders of the countries are expected to make their presentation. That's a given. Okay. But I'm looking at the entourage. Is the entourage necessary? Right. I mean, one or two or three. Foreign minister, of course, should be there. After that, I don't know. One or two for moral support. Dominica's 4 sound kind of reasonable. If it's 10 of ours, well, I wonder about the reasoning behind it. Okay, because beforehand, it used to be that, well, we were putting emphasis on all these things, climate change. I remember one particular climate conference where one whole string of people went. And you wonder, what are the results of that? What is the return on that? You know, because these things cost money. I know, for instance, that a long time ago, I remember the late Limo saying that our foreign representatives should not dress any less, shouldn't have to take the subway to go to the same, they should have a chauffeured car and all of that. In other words, we ain't supposed to be any less than anybody else. Okay? And there may be that thinking too, right? But in a small country, I think things like these become an issue. It's not an issue for the large countries. I mean, that's a drop in the bucket of their budget bucket. But in small countries like ours, I mean, we should be more circumspect and think on getting value for the money we spend on these things. That's my point.
German?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the call is correct. I think it goes back to the issue of communication. You don't get the details, and I had the permanent secretary on from the office of the Prime Minister, Naeem Haza. She spoke a bit about that, not last week, the previous edition, not last week's edition of Inside the News, but the previous edition. And she spoke about some of it. But I think the bottom line issue, Jamster, is the fact that the communication isn't there in terms of beforehand. So you're only going to get a press statement to say that, hey, this is the delegation that is going, and we're going to be engaging in discussions, right? You don't get the understanding of why, what your focus will be, and what your priority areas are. So that's why we're now having this discussion in terms of, and criticisms being leveled at the government in terms of the delegation size, whether or not X person should have gone and so forth. That's a discussion for the government. I think, again, it comes back to the point that administrations do not necessarily give you all the details beforehand, that these are what we're going to be focusing on while we're out
Jordan, it's 9:02. We're going to think. I'll give you, there's one more, let you take one more call. We have another segment coming up, Lime Galore with John Francis. Caller, go ahead, be brief.
Yes, I'll be brief. Good morning, Jamsa. Good morning, Kortensia. Good morning, German.
Morning.
Jamsa, did you touch the issue of Ericana Chirambori, the former ambassador?
No, I haven't. No, haven't gotten to that. Haven't gotten to that yet. No.
Did you?
No, not yet.
Okay, so I'm gonna continue to listen because I really want to weigh in on that matter.
Okay, all right.
Mr. Abel, nice hearing your voice from the UN up there and reporting on the international scene. We hope we can hear some report from our end. I know it's a long, tedious session, and Pinkerton Nevis might speak somewhere, I don't know where we are in the mix, but we continue to listen.
Okay.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. And guys, do you know that German comes home every day? Flies home every afternoon to do the sports and then flies back.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, of course.
Lost. Jay, that used to happen to me. Don't worry about it.
Nobody does say good morning, Jim.
Well, yeah, just let me wrap down because I know we have
Go ahead,
segment.
Go ahead.
But yeah, it's again, the bottom line issue here again is that, communication is key, and government has to tighten up if it wants the public to understand what it has been doing. I'm guessing when the Prime Minister come back, because it's a trend that when he travels he'll come back and he'll have his engagement with the public in terms of the round table discussion, right? And I guess he will seek to address some of the criticisms that will be leveled. But again, the bottom line issue is you have to let the people know why you're doing this and the purpose of what you're doing. And just to add quickly, he will be making his presentation sometime this afternoon regarding the entire issue of why he is, Jamsta, So yeah, he'll be making his presentation, he and several other regional leaders. So at the bottom of sometime this afternoon. So yes.
Okay, German, great. Okay, we have John Francis coming up. I know you're going to be listening with La Amiga Law. So, and John today is going to be only 15 minutes because we have CIBC coming up in 10. Well, actually, you have 10 minutes. So we'll take a quick break and come back and we get an intensive La Amiga folklore workout from John Francis.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Have you heard the exciting news from Makana Ferry Service? Here goes! We've reinstated subsidized rates for 2024. So now you can travel to Sabre, Statia with a reduced return rate, and we introduce special same-day rates. Wait! There's more! You've asked for day trip to St. Martin? Well, now it's a reality! Yes, on the weekends. Also, with the introductory special same-day rates, giving you savings and affordable transportation options, where you save every time. And hear this, our new schedule now includes Anguilla. Go to www.makanaferryservice.com or call our local agents. Ship it for less at 869-466-1151 extension 2 or 662-3961. You can email makana@shipitforless.com. So now you know. Enjoy the sun, sand, and unforgettable celebrations this summer with Makana Ferry Service and the gift of connection.
Well, we gotta shorten the last one for the month. A very shortened La Amiga Law today. We got CIBC team showing up at 9:15. So John Francis, you got 8 minutes. 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
Yeah, let's go.
That's a lot of time. You could cook some.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Let's get it.
Well, quick rice. You mean instant rice, right?
Huh?
Instant rice.
Instant
okay.
rice.
Oh, God. Yeah. Okay. So today, I thought, okay, let's do some debunking today. Debunking, yeah.
Okay.
We're going to debunk Thomas Warner.
Okay.
Yeah, Thomas Warner. We all know about Thomas Warner. We have
him.
We have people named after him. We've got the park that we go to, music festival every year.
Warner's One Stop.
Warner's One Stop. Everywhere. From East Anglia somewhere, and he was a military guy on his way to Virginia's, and we know in like around the early 1600s, the English were in the Virginians trying to, as they say, trying to make tobacco, which was a trend stuff. I don't understand how they did that, to be honest with you, because tobacco came from South America, so I don't know what
imported.
Well, that's where it was kind of. They found the tobacco.
And North America too.
I don't know.
The Indians, the Indians, the ones in, I hate saying Indians, the ones, the Native Americans. And,
they probably had the same.
The Americans.
Same thing, yeah, absolutely.
Because, they traded with one another and stuff.
I'll buy that one.
Yeah.
So the English was there, and of course they needed protection, and of course the army always there. My personal belief that the army were kind of militia, like big bodyguards, We sort of get the impression that the army's there to protect people, but I think the army in the early days was just really to protect money. Just like today, like the mines in South Africa or in Rwanda or wherever they are, the French armies are there
to protect the interests, and the interests are the mines. But we kind of think of it, they're there to protect the people or something like that, but it's not. So I think the army that was sent over in the Virginians, which Thomas Warner was one of them, was there to protect the tobacco. And when he was there, I think he made friends with Samuel Jefferson, also came from the same area, East Anglia, and somehow they seemed to hear about what was going on in the Caribbean.
And
area.
Samuel, you said that was Thomas Jefferson's grandfather or father?
Thomas Jefferson's grandfather. Great-great-grandfather.
Great-great-grandfather, okay.
One of the founding fathers of America. So somehow they wangled their way down to the islands, I think on the way to protect probably the growing of the tobacco in Guyana area. And of course, if they're going on the way down, this is early 1600s, probably 10, 1615, 1620, right about then. Of course, there's a lot of things happening in St. Kitts at that time that people don't really talk about. And I think the last time I was here, I made mention of the group of people that came to Nevis in 1607 on their way to Virginia to set up the first colonies in Virginia in 1607. So that puts some dates to it, in the debunking. So 1607, they came to Nevis. Now, why would they go to Nevis? Some people going to set up shop in the Virginias. So it's, a lot of things must have been going on in St. Kitts and Nevis in the early 1600s. So debunking, Thomas Warner didn't really come here to set up a colony in St. Kitts. There's always something going on. There's something going on here already. The group of people who landed in Nevis, I think 144 of them arrived in Nevis, which is a lot of people. It's 2-3 boats at least of people. So it was an obvious important mission to go to the Virginias and to drop off in Nevis on the way. So Thomas Warner, by the time he got to Guyana, he heard or realized that St. Kitts is important. And somehow him and Jefferson landed themselves in St. Kitts. I mean, there's no official account that he was in St. Kitts around about 1620. I don't read anything. I don't see anything. When I go and Google his life and read stuff from his family in America, who post these things in Wikipedia, there's no mention of him in 1620 hanging around St. Kitts. At the same time, the French was here already, because remember in 1623, the French also came and made a claim against St. Kitts the exact same year. Now, that's conspiracy for you. And where did they do it? In Dieppe Bay, the other side of the island, So you ask how could this coincidence be? They say the coincidence is that the French came from a shipwreck, to Dieppe Bay and landed themselves there. But of course, I think Thomas Warner himself knew about the French. They knew about the French interest in it, and Thomas Warner went to England, left the army, and of course in that time there's people like Francis Bacon and industrialists and economists and financial people who were funding shipments and funding trips and expeditions to Africa. And they were trying to do what the Portuguese were doing at that time. And of course, Thomas Warner had a good reason. He went there and said, St. Kitts and Nevis, or St. Christopher it was called then, is a hotbed of pirates, a hotbed, a lot of people, a lot of action, a lot of opportunities. Invest in me, let me clean up the place, and then, it will be yours. He got the money, he got the people, and then he got a charter and then came down to the islands with it. Now, he says he has a charter, now debunking, a charter. The charter to who? To give the Indians, give the Indians a paper and say, look, I have a contract for your country. The Indians, they wouldn't read it. They wouldn't know it. So what was this contract about? Or charter. I believe the charter was to tell the other people who were there already, look, this is mine. So it's to all the English and the French Europeans who were there illegally to say, I now have legal claims on this island.
Okay, John, we gotta leave it there. It's, interesting as usual. We're gonna have to have you back so you can have the full 30. Maybe we'll do another episode in October. Okay, but we got CIBC coming up next, and of course that's going to be followed by Fireproof.
Fire Talk.
Yeah, Fire Talk at 9:30. Okay, let's take a quick break and get our CIBC rep seated.
Different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Back, as Jamsta said before, we have a lovely lady in the house.
Representative from CIBC. Her name is
Shaloida Hewlett.
Okay, good, because I was saying I'm gonna let her introduce herself.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
We're good. What about you?
I'm doing pretty well. So I'm here to shed some light on our upcoming Walk for the Cure. That's our annual cancer fundraiser, and this year is our 13th annual walk. Before I dive deep into what we have going on at CIBC, I want to first thank the general public, the corporate community, for their support over the past few years as it relates to our Walk for the Cure event. And I'm happy to report that Walk for the Cure has become the largest fundraising activity in support of cancer awareness in the entire Caribbean.
Before you get into it, I don't think we said what CIBC was.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't think we said what CIBC was.
CIBC First Caribbean International Bank.
Okay, cool. Just making sure, just making sure.
That's good.
Did we say it? We didn't say it. No, yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome to me from CIBC. I think.
Yeah, but no, we just
want
said
to
CIBC.
Make sure everybody knows what's happening.
It's a bank, guys. It's a bank.
It's an international bank.
I hope y'all log in because I find that she real pretty.
Thank you.
Okay, so get into it. What are we talking about?
All right, so our annual fundraiser, Walk for the Cure, is scheduled for Saturday, October 5th, 2024. So that's Saturday, October 5th, 2024. And the start time is 6 p.m. sharp. We are encouraging persons to show up on time so we can kick off. It's a cool evening walk. It should not be as hot as the previous year's walks during the morning into the afternoon. So we opted to have an evening walk, nice and cool.
Okay, I was just
right, to encourage persons to come out. All right, and as I mentioned before, this year marks our 13th anniversary for Walk for the Cure.
13.
Yes, 13 years of walking and standing and fundraising for the cure. 100% of proceeds That's 100%. We're
All
not
of it.
making anything. We are 100% charity work. 100% of proceeds are donated to the Essence of Hope Foundation and the Reach for Recovery Foundation. Now, I have to mention them because they have been working with persons affected by cancer for a number of years. They shed light on the disease. They encourage persons to get mammograms to ensure that if they are affected, they get the support and the help that they need within a reasonable time frame. And life could be very unpredictable.
It can. I agree.
Very, very unpredictable. And we also have to think about the current stresses that we have, being diagnosed with cancer, the financial strain that could put on one's family and the support system. So we are happy that we could assist in that regard to raise funds to assist persons in need of financial help through the Reach for Recovery Foundation and the Essence of Hope Foundation. Now, we would have had a few activities this year, including, and we have some that are upcoming, bake sales, jumbo sales. We sell merchandise in store, and we have our Soca Size fitness sessions that have been running since early September. Okay. We have one session left, and that's going to be next Wednesday, and it's facilitated by Mr. Elston Nisbet at the Life Fitness Center at 5:30 p.m.
Is there a cost for that one?
Yes, that's $10 EC.
Okay.
Just $10.
I know.
Literally $10.
Little bit.
You have fun.
I don't have time. Yeah, I work.
Well, we'll see you at the walk then. If you can't make it to Soca Size, we'll see you at the walk on Saturday, October 5th, 2024.
I can't even
All right?
sit up.
You miss one, you catch up on the next one.
Do you know who's doing the Soca Size?
Yeah.
This is the Elston Nisbet.
The famous Soca Size.
Famous Elston Nisbet.
Yeah.
Energizer Bunny.
Yep, Energizer Bunny indeed.
Listen, I attended one of the sessions as staff. I was working, and I ended up in the session having fun.
Okay, good.
It was that energetic.
I thought you was going to tell me you would get burnt out.
Oh, no. I could keep up.
She can keep up.
Tell them, see? Okay.
So we want to encourage persons to come on out in their numbers. Shirts are available at our office in the Circus Bastille, and it's 35 EC for adults, 25 EC for kids.
Okay. So it says package. So the package is just a shirt, or we get a bottle and something else?
You get a shirt, and when you come to the walk on October 5th, you get a glow stick.
Okay.
All right, because by that time the sun is set.
Yeah, it's going to be dark.
And it's going to be a bit dark, so.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's going to be very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool, not kind of.
Not kind of, yeah. I might have said kind of. It's very cool.
What's the walk route, though?
Okay, so we start off at the circus, or office in the circus. We journey onto the Bay Road toward the War Memorial.
Okay.
Then we venture up through Hosford Street, that's past the UWI Center.
Yeah.
Then up through Burden Street by CFBC.
Yep.
Then we get off and up through Greenlands onto the bypass road. We go around the roundabout, headed toward Gillard's gas station.
Okay.
And then we come off the highway. We're not going to take you all the way, Okay. I see you looking at me like. And then
Not me. I'm just saying that's a walk.
It's a pretty cool
That's all
walk.
I'm saying. It's a walk.
It's
yeah.
a pretty cool walk.
No,
and then
I like to walk, Jay.
Good. So I'll see you. Okay. We'll
all,
walk together.
all things equal.
Jamsta, quiet over there. Don't take your girl to this,
No. I'm all ears.
You walk in enough Jamsta. Come on,
I could deliver your shirts this afternoon if you like. But we'll talk about that.
Okay.
So and then we get off at the Gillard's gas station exit. We come down onto Victoria Road and back
to the circus.
Okay.
To our office. It's a pretty cool walk.
Yeah, it's a cool walk.
Yeah. And for persons who are not mobile, they could still gather at the circus. We're going to have our premium sponsor, Rams Trading, offering samples on Bank Street.
Okay.
Samples of what?
Their products.
Their products?
Yep.
Jamsta, this is your segment.
Yep.
It is?
Yes. Food?
So I want to take some time out to acknowledge our corporate partners and sponsors, our premium sponsor, Rams Trading, Sol EC Limited, Flow, the St. Kitts Tourism Authority, Island Purified Water, the St. Kitts Marriott Resort, the TDC Group of Companies, Smart Electronics, Mitchum and Benjamin, Life Fitness Center, and of course, Mr. Elston Nisbet. Right, that's the Soca Size Guru. Yeah. And I want to encourage your listening audience that it's not too late for persons to come on as corporate sponsors, or if you want your friends, your family, your team, your staff to join the walk, you can give me a call at 465-5981. That's 465-5981, and I can secure your shirts for you. All right. As it relates to corporate sponsors, you give me a call and we can discuss package options. It's not too late. It's not too late, guys. All right. To join the movement. As mentioned before, 100% of the proceeds are donated to the Reach for Recovery Group and the Essence of Hope nonprofit organization to support persons who are affected by cancer and by extension their families by providing financial and emotional support. All right, so once again, just to recap, Saturday, October 5th, 2024, is the CIBC First Caribbean's Walk for the Cure. We kick off at 6 p.m. on Saturday. Shirts are available for purchase, $35 for adults and $25 for children. So I just want to take some time out to say thank you to you guys for allowing us to use your platform to get the word out.
Thank you.
And I hope to see you all at the walk. Just give me a call. I'll drop off your shirts later this afternoon.
I like how she sells while she's here. So I want to ask one extra question. Go ahead.
But she didn't drop her number.
She did. She says 465-5981.
Okay, cool. I know it, but I just wanted to.
Oh, my word.
Notice she's wearing a red variant too. And that would be like one more burgundy.
Good. Yes, burgundy.
Yeah. Burgundy, yeah. Oh, look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Were there any new sponsors that came on board this year? I know you said I know you're inviting more, but were there any new persons that came on board this year?
Yes, we have for the first time the St. Kitts Tourism Authority with us.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And Smart Electronics.
Oh, that's right down 4th Street.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's okay.
So
kudos.
we're encouraging persons to come on out and come on, join us as sponsors. It's not too late. Just give me a call and we can curate a package for you guys if you're interested in sponsoring the walk.
Okay.
Thank you so much. If there are no more questions, anyone online has questions? No?
Not really. Let me just take a quick look. Probably not. Okay, no, because most of these people are overseas.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
they can still
donate.
No, I mean questions. Yeah.
They can visit our website, cibcfcib.com, and there's a slot that says Walk for the Cure, and they're able to donate via our website as well. All right, so thank you so much. And
so you heard Cleo, Skeeto, Pension, Kathleen,
Jackie,
Burl,
Dave,
Kortensia, just Blake. She's in the chat.
Yes, we make it fairly easy for persons to donate and get in on the action and be a part of the Walk for the Cure.
Plug in the date and the time one more time.
Yes, it's Saturday, October 5th, 2024. We are kicking off at 6 p.m. at our office in the Circus. $35 for adults, $25 for kids. All right, so we hope to see everyone. Very, very, very affordable and for a worthy cause.
Okay, sounds good.
Sounds really good.
CIBC doing their thing. So 9:28, we have Fireproof coming up next, and we want to wish the CIBC folks a great weekend. Thank you.
I had to record to see what song.
original taste. Stone ginger wine will never fade away. The wine for me and the next generation.
A legacy lasts forever. The original ginger wine, established in 1740. Stone's ginger wine.
Pour me out some Stone's ginger wine for me. The wine for me and the next generation.
Live your legacy responsibly with Stone's.
Wait, let the A-list breathe a little bit.
Let me tell you something. You're warm. You're warm this morning. This is what we want under the voices.
I play it all the time.
Good Caribbean music. I love it. You're on. You're warm this morning, Jamsta. Yeah.
Speaking of warm.
Yeah, speaking of warm.
Fireproof.
Fireproof is in the house.
Here we go. Morning, officer. What's up?
Good morning. Good morning. Everything is okay. Morning to you.
Where's Officer Hodge?
You should be. Oh, look at my.
Oh, because
Officer Hodge.
Good morning, sir. How are you? Just asking where you are.
I'm right here.
And speaking of warm, I hope things were warm and not hot for the last week. So we had a fire-free week. I hope the only warmth that was had was the sunshine.
Well, I mean, it was warm for one portion of the week, but it's kind of cool right now.
Yeah, it is.
Kind of cool right now.
It is.
I'm grateful for the rain.
And Carringdale has joined us. Hey.
Yes, and I too am grateful for the rain. Good morning, Mr. Clark. Good morning to our listening audience and to the major host.
Jay Black.
Jay Black.
Yeah, I'm going to repeat it as much as I need to. Yes.
And we from the fire department are very much thankful for the rain as well. Our bushfires for the last couple of days has been non-existent.
Right.
And that's how we love it. That's how we wish for every day to be.
Rainy?
Rainy, yes, man. That helps with our water issue as well.
Imagine some of my jobs depend on the sun, and here's a fireman saying, "But we want the rain every day." That's crazy.
Well, you can have a rainy photo shoot.
Depends on your perspective, right?
It depends on your perspective, yes.
And you know, a good sign about where the climate is trending as we get closer to the end of the year. For the first time since maybe last January or February, when it's cold, I have to wake up 4 in the morning to put on a shirt, because usually for the last few months, no shirt, sleeping no. But I was like, oh, it's getting a little chilly.
TMI.
Yeah.
But the start of last night was very hot.
Last night?
Yeah, this last night started off really hot until maybe around 2 o'clock or so in the morning.
Where you live?
Where?
In
He lives close to
Taylor's.
Breeze
don't reach in Taylor's unless you're on the bypass.
I live close to the bypass.
You live close to the bypass? On the bypass or close to?
Just below the bypass.
Just below the bypass? Okay.
But I could see why, yeah. I could kind of see why maybe it's a very concrete area too as well. There's not a lot of trees, so that might be part of it, yeah. So what's on the agenda today?
Well, basically, we haven't heard from the general public in a long while. We need persons to call in and let's have a discussion. Remember, we are here to serve the general public.
Good call.
You know, so if you're seeing us out in the public where we on duty, if we are behaving ourselves, we need to know the good, we need to know the bad. What about that? If we're doing anything bad, call in and chastise us. We could just cover the information to manage.
Sure you want?
Well, let me get
sure you want that?
Yes, man.
You sure about that?
Yes.
Yeah, and also there are things that we may have missed as a department, stuff that we could do. We welcome suggestions from the general public as well. From me and Jay Black, if you could.
I had the first comment. I think they're being funny, but first comment says, sounds like uno want no pay, meaning you want to be fireman and have no fires. That's good too.
Well,
we can rescue.
You know,
it's a prevention method.
It's like insurance.
At least it give us more time to go and do the other stuff that we are paid to do.
Right.
You go out and you sensitize the public and so forth.
Morning, Paul.
Good morning.
We got a call away.
Quick question. Yeah, one day. What the purpose of the ambassador?
Are they lobbying for the country? What are they doing? Selling passports?
Oh, hello.
Sending out the embassy?
Caller. This is fireproof.
Fireproof at the moment.
The firemen are they're encouraging questions and maybe comments, on what they do. Yeah. Okay.
Man, come start a fire, boy. Fireproof. Okay. But in the meantime, while we're waiting on the calls that relate to the fireproof segment. Oh, we got a caller. Wait. Okay, great.
Hey, caller, go ahead.
Hello.
Greetings, IT.
Hey, what's up?
Greetings, how are you?
I don't well, one to no well, one tire well, right well.
Yeah.
Are you good?
Okay.
Yes, thanks.
Powerful.
Okay. All right. We are seeing. What's on the topic? You have any topic there right now? I want to talk something, but
We have the firemen here. So
the fireman is in the home.
Yeah, they were wanting.
No, me not this the program. No, me want
We
to
appreciate you, caller.
The pardon?
We appreciate you for doing that.
Yeah, of course. That's the way to do. That's the way to go. Have a blessed day.
Thank you. You can call back afterwards.
Thank you.
You do.
Right. So as I was saying, so the last time you guys were here, y'all were talking about illegal fires and how it is illegal to actually start a fire without calling the fire department first. Correct?
Well, not without calling the fire department.
Well, getting
per se.
permission from the fire department.
And for most parts now, the permission actually comes from the health department
Oh,
after
okay.
collaborating, because starting fires is more of a health issue
Okay.
than anything now. More persons have developed the asthma, and then you have the different other issues where I don't think you really want somebody to light a fire in the backyard as soon as you change your curtain or put your clothes on the line.
Yeah, I can fight.
Yes.
I can fight.
Yeah, so we actually encourage persons not to light fires. You have whatever waste you need to get rid of. You get a trucker and have them take it to the solid waste department.
You advertising?
Oh boy.
Not really. But
I'm gonna let him out. He pointed at you when you said trucker.
But taking him out. My hands are full right now.
But you said health department. We know the health department closed at a certain time. Can we not call you directly and say, I intend to burn some stuff in the back of my yard? Is it okay to go ahead with that?
Yes, and most likely we'll encourage you not to, and to have it thrown away at the appropriate time.
Okay.
Because we really try to be, you're being considerate to some persons. Some of the farmers actually do get the chance to burn still based on the area of their farms.
Because they are up in the mountains.
Way up in the mountain,
Right,
that are not disturbing anybody per se. But persons in populated community areas, we really encourage them not to burn anything at all.
Okay.
Because the smoke would disturb somebody.
Right.
Some persons may not complain, but some they really can't deal with the scent of smoke, even a slight scent. I remember this lady, any smoke at all that she smells, she ends up at the hospital. Any light, anything. So persons have it really bad, and for some, I would like to say you got a disgusting set where we walk out, okay, well, I can't burn this, so you shouldn't be able to do that. And you have to keep the balance. So we try to encourage everybody to get rid of the waste. The appropriate thing to do with it is to have it hauled away to the solid waste management, and they would deal with it in the appropriate manner, whatever they do with it over there.
The farmers burning in the mountain, do you encourage them to do it in a control area? Because the mountain is very vast, and if it's dry, we know what could happen up there.
Yes.
So
for the farmers, either ourselves or persons from the health department as well, because they are very much involved in it.
Okay.
We will check the areas. We encourage them to have a clearing of about 10 feet away around the area that they are burning, because we don't want half of the mountainside to run away. We actually encourage them not to do any burning in the dry season.
Okay.
Because the place at that time is really dry, and any emblem or what we call crown fires, anything that is detached from the regular fire, would blow away and can start an actual fire, which gives us work for days. Yeah, so we don't encourage them to do any burning in the dry season, but where it is possible, and this is just for the farmers alone in the mountainous area, we actually allow them to do some burning.
Let me ask a question. You something you said there made me think of it. What's the longest fire y'all ever fought? That would have been the one at Southeast Peninsula, probably?
As a
As far
residential
as you know?
fire, for a resident, yes.
Okay.
And I don't know, what was the length of the Hasford's fire?
The whole block.
Not the block, the one behind there. When the building did burn up, what length that it run at?
I don't remember being around all the time. But it was a major fire though.
It was a
Which one? Not the area right there that's being rebuilt?
Foods is on the corner? Yeah.
It was in my time, but I remember I was off at the time in Sandy Point. I didn't hear anything about it before the next morning. I would have been there.
Yeah.
But the Southeast fire, I was on that call. We would have received the call around 4 the morning, and it's sometime after 4 the afternoon we would have finished with it, and we would have been returning to that fire up to, I think, was 3 days after, because it was having hot spots coming back up. So even though we would have doused it with seawater after we got all the pumps and everything up, we were using seawater and just dousing it. And days after, we had to be going back there still to cold spots.
Wow.
That's cool. I didn't know y'all use seawater.
Yeah, the fire was close to the sea.
So y'all run a line to the sea?
Yeah, a line and pump. We were pumping the water from portable pumps.
Wow.
Because what we were doing initially was using 4 trucks. We had an airport truck steady once we were able to get it. And
you want to look like a transformer?
Something like that.
Right. Yeah.
And we were using 3 other trucks to head water from in the Frigate Bay area because the water in the southeast was off.
Oh, okay.
So that was the plan until we were able to get the pumps, get them up and running, and we moved away from that and started using the seawater.
Yes.
We got a caller. Good morning, caller.
You're live and fireproof.
Good morning. On that fire in the peninsula, what lessons did you all learn from it? If, for instance, the same thing was to happen again, do you think you're better prepared? It seems like an inordinate amount of time to put out a house fire. So is it a fact now that if something like that were to happen again, that you'd be in a better position to take care of it? That's the first thing. The second thing is, I know a long time ago, and this is in the, about 2005, not 2005, almost 2000, around 2000. One could have approached the fire department about controlled burning. They'd be on the scene. There was a small fee, I guess, that went towards the fireman's fund, or whatever you all call it. But you're saying now that it's not like that anymore? Because it seems like that's a really good way to control a lot of brush, overgrown stuff. Yes, smoke and so on present problems, but it can be over in half an hour, I would imagine, if it's a controlled burning. So I just wondered if it's just a new policy now that you cannot approach the fire department for something like that. All right.
Okay, caller. Any more calls? Okay, to respond to your call, the second question was about the controlled burning. Yes, we used to do the controlled burning, as I said, but for the most part, a lot of persons have these health issues, and where it is actually necessary, like if there is an old building with termite next to something else, sometimes we do actually try to burn them out. We actually we stick around while they do the demolition of that building. There are other times where we actually give the permission to burn, not that we stay on the scene all the time. We do that if it's necessary. But for the most parts, we try not to give the permission. We encourage persons to get rid of their waste to the solid waste. In terms of the question about the fire at the southeast, what I can say is from a fire department standpoint, we did everything that we could have done and we did everything correctly. The building at the southeast, the only thing I would change is if I hear it's one of those structures again, I would call all available appliances one time, because I was the first supervisor on scene with the Bastia unit, and what I realized is we got there, we started our attack, and from you move in from point A to point B, and then you realize the fire in point A is reigniting. So I immediately called for the airport truck because I realized, hey, I have a problem. Yeah, so I would finish the response. I'll take the call.
Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, good morning. Is the radio disturbing you? Or is it another room?
No.
No. Oh, thank you. No, I was thinking about taking proactive measures. Every year, certain areas burn out. You don't think that before, say, at the end of August or so, that they organize fire breaks or have the place cleared?
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I think that's a very good suggestion, caller.
Yeah, because I don't think about it. They say, you're not going to have fire over there. Whatever reason, when you drive down St. Paul's, going down that way, you see, by the road. You know, and it happens every year.
Yeah, but for the countryside, most of the areas do have those tractor-tracks in them. I mean, some of them, because they are not being used, are overgrown as well. But where we have...
Thinking, since you know you like it to get a fire in there. And another thing again, when you all walk through these avenues, Newtown, Irish Town, a village to a lesser extent, you see all these fire hazards here, but you all don't recommend that they demolish them.
Recommendations have been made for some of these in the McKnight area.
Maybe you all have to express the severity of the situation.
Yes, but...
any fire break out in some of them, the alley, truck can't go through the alley. You understand? And the lots are so small, house jam up against house.
Yeah, that is true.
Sometimes we got to do what we have to do, you know.
But remember, they are persons' property. They are not just there.
Well, if the person had been informed, right?
Yes, but some are abandoned, some are being occupied still, and we can't just go and take out these properties.
Occupied, you could recommend some things they could do.
But
I mean, pure fire hazard.
Yes, that is true. But I mean, even for most of Bastia, if you realize how the buildings are, where we have authority, where we should have that authority, I should say, is if a number of buildings are burning, and we recognize as a fire department, we don't have a control, we can't get it to stop. So that we don't lose a whole block, we do have authority to call in and choose a building and take it down. That would create a fire break.
I know, but what I'm saying, inland revenue know who they belong to, eh? So you talk to them and say, look, this is a high risk, a very high risk. Because some of the alleys are small, the truck can't go through.
Yeah, that is true. But if they are constructed already, it's very, very hard. It takes a lot of legal effort to get them down.
When do you all use that express appliance y'all have? You all have a smaller appliance, like on a pickup, like maybe on a, it's like a F250 frame or something.
Oh, it's skid pack.
What do you guys use that for?
They were being used for smaller, not smaller, but for bushfires where there are 4x4 vehicles and they could actually, there were quick response. They run faster than the bigger trucks, and we use them off-road a lot. There is one in Nevis that was actually being used as a fire tender in Nevis for quite a while. It is now supplemented by a bigger truck, but They're up and running and they are put to use.
How many of those y'all have?
We have 2 presently.
Oh, I always thought it
And
was
then
one.
what we did is that we got 2 smaller trucks. Those are in the rural areas, Sandy Point and Tabernacle. The water capacity is about 600, so it's good, but the body of the truck is smaller, so it allows for them to go through some of those smaller areas.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had a question about the same. I know you wanted to continue, but what did you guys use? Any chemical media, 1, for the Southeast fire, and 2, what was causing the fire to come back over those days?
In terms of chemical media, a little bit of foam was dispelled, but using the foam, it wasn't really it didn't do the job, because foam is used to blanket liquid fires for cooling. So putting it on a structure, it would just run off, just like the water. What was causing the reignition was the treatment used in the construction, because the buildings are constructed right next to the water, so they are properly treated. And how they are constructed, it's board on the inside with a kind of matted panel, and then concrete, board again, matting, and then they have the treated board on the outside as well. So it was dealing with a lot of treated material, and it's just keep on causing the reignition. So the only way we could have done with it, the only thing we could have done was to cool as much as possible. I think at the end we would have had about 5-6 fire lines running. That's after we got all of the pumps and everything up. We could have, dispel as much media as we wanted, and we were able to save just a small portion of that structure. That's from doing it. But as I say, from the only thing I would change is I would call out all the appliances sooner. Mind you, that was done basically about 20 minutes within the actual firefighting thing after I saw what was happening. So I don't think much could have been done different.
Here's a question though. If you had a closer fire hall, would that made a difference? It wouldn't have made much of a difference. Let's say you had
It would have, and we have been lobbying for a frigate bay outpost. We have been lobbying for it.
If you had to locate it, where would you put it? I'm sure you guys have thought
over
about
in the
that.
Frigate Bay area, maybe up in the same area,
Anywhere?
close to Marriott, since that is
the police station.
Where the police,
Yes.
that's exactly where I was thinking you should put it.
But it's just to minimize the travel time. Mind you, again, from Bastia to Marriott would only take about 5-6 minutes.
7 minutes in regular traffic.
Yeah.
If people don't move all the way.
So, but then it's continuing straight over to the southeast because it's Christoph Harbour.
You have to add another 8 minutes depending on how it is. And it's a big truck, so you can't really bank the corners as fast.
Oh, yes, you can.
Yeah?
Oh, yes, you can.
What is the turning speed for that truck? What is the maximum turning speed for that truck before it be like, we can't go too fast?
Well, I can't say, but the trucks, they are very versatile with the handling of the road.
I want you to take note for me.
No, me ain't gonna test that because I don't want to turn it over.
No, as in like
Okay, we have a call.
The turning speed.
Caller, good morning, you're live on Five Roof.
Hey, good morning again.
Hi.
Now, is it possible, can you all be sued for property damage? Sometimes they come down to small fire and they take the big ones and mess up everything else in the property.
Oh boy.
No, it still happens,
Yes, caller. I know it happens. Unfortunately, no. Unless you, no, it can't be. Unless you can prove that is something that is actually willfully done. We can't be sued.
Maybe not willfully. The word is inefficient. I mean, if you come out a small fire and you hose down the whole of the place.
Mm-hmm.
Damage up everything, yeah?
Well, Carla,
well, anything, the act says that anything damaged between the firefighting process would be deemed as damage by fire. We are covered under that, and the insurance is supposed to pick up
What
from
about
there.
in any country, do you know they can take legal action against the fire?
In some countries, yes, but the fire department in Sinkis is fully covered for that. Sinkis Nevis, that is, sorry.
Let me tell you something. If I call a fire truck, Carla, right?
So you have... Go ahead.
And the fire truck people come with a hose, a garden hose, to say like it's a small fire wherever it is, right? I can watch these men and say they ain't serious. These men can come with a big hose and
I'm talking about with the normal fire hose.
Well,
You come and you see the fire is
Do you have various hoses though to fight the fire?
Carla, what I know would have happened in the past. Persons would have been called out for a fire, and through training we have moved away from it. Persons would have been called out to a fire, and they ain't seen a fire. They see a lot of smoke, and you start throwing water. You're throwing water, but what we do now, we make sure we locate what we call the seat of the fire. You have to actually see flames before we do anything. It's like responding to a bank at certain times in the night when there is a activated smoke alarm. Yes, you don't go down there, you don't break anything unless you see actual fire inside. If you are not seeing any fire, our protocol
I'm glad
is
you all are
we must...
improving.
What's that?
I'm glad that you all are improving your methodology.
Improving?
Practice.
We had a bad past that you can share with us?
Well, I don't know about the Sinkis Navy's Fire and Rescue Services. I don't know if you have an experience, but that is how we operate.
Yes, now.
Go ahead, so give us an example. Give us the year, the location.
One room, right? And I tell you, by the time they finish, a 3-bedroom house now. The whole place underwater. You know? Because they stay outside and shooting through the window. When they could have come in, they ask me, is there any power? And I tell them, no, I turn off the power. But the amount of water they shoot, because you know, when the house is not as broad as.
Well, Carl, on a light note,
thank you for the service.
On a light note, I would like to say I feel would have thank and appreciate them because the amount of water they put in would have saved the property. The little water could have get map up when done.
Map up.
She's under the impression that you guys do things willy nilly.
Yeah. Well, but
like a whole bucket.
I can't say that persons don't do it, but the protocol is you must locate a fire before you shoot any water.
Something occurred to me a while ago. I mean, you guys know this might be a little controversial, but I think it makes sense. The Christopher Harbour area is a sort of enclave, right? An enclave is like a country within a country, basically, right? You would think that the people that allow them to do that would have insisted that, well, you need to at the very least facilitate a firefighting facility, and at least the government will staff it. Yeah, I thought that's something that you want to have a country in a country. That's something that you should have spent some money on. In terms of it was our money they were spending anyway. But I digress.
Okay.
Well, I think that takes up the rest of the program.
Yeah.
I don't know what Jamsta trying to get.
I understand what you're trying to get at too. I must let me swallow my teeth how hard I stoops and all.
I like how Officer Hudson that takes up the rest of the program.
But let me ask y'all a question. Just something I thought about in passing. The smoke detectors, let's just say, in commercial places, maybe homes and what's not. If it goes off, you guys have a system to kind of pick up when any smoke alarm goes off?
No, the smoke detectors, no. If you have a fire system in there, then
the sprinkler system?
Not the sprinkler system, a fire alarm system that is set up to a company then that alarm goes to that
The company.
specific company,
And then they call
and
the
the company
fire
call the fire services right away before they
So
try
the sec-
calling anybody else.
So the security, like for those persons that live in areas that have alarms to their houses. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. we do.
Yeah. So this alarm
And
company.
how
calls
does the
fire service.
company? How do the companies get the signal from the fire alarm? To like phone lines or?
It's
I guess it works the same way, like a fire, like a security alarm system.
Once it goes off, however the system is set up, they would know exactly which alarm, which home, which company the alarm would have gone off in. They would call the fire department, tell them, okay, this thing went off, and then they would try to call. So the fire department is preparing to leave. Sometimes we get a call back while en route. They spoke to things, they said that nothing is going on, there is just the alarm went off. So we stand down. But in the essence of time, the fire department is called out first, and we are on our way until we get there or until we get a second call, which is the same thing with the activated alarm for the banks. We get there, and if nothing is going on, as I said, we wait if you can visibly see anything. We wait for the manager or whomever to come with the key, because the same security company would call them as well.
Yeah.
But if we get there and we see fire on the inside, then we force our way in to deal with it before it gets out of control.
Man, great program, guys. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So it would be nice if we could continue this next week. I mean, you guys know what you're doing next week, but yeah.
Too easy.
And it's for the callers to warm to the thing, because sometimes you guys say we're taking calls and we might not get as many calls as.
Yes,
as
we really appreciate the number of persons who would have called in to share suggestions or give their input today. Thank you again, and until next week, right here for Fireproof.
And another fire-free week.
Yes.
Yeah. No warmth, no heat. Just
So let's have a cool week.
A cool week, right?
A cool week.
Yeah.
I hope more rain come in your favor.
Okay.
And not in yours.
Not to yours.
All right, folks. Same place, same time on Monday. Thank you for tuning in for the entire week. We enjoyed your company, your calls, and your comments as usual. Have a great Friday. Make someone's day, and just be good. See you on Monday.
This was Island T. We'll be back at you on Monday.
What they said.
What they said.